Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with a Raw and Smackdown review. So like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get to it. We had opened up the show with the Bloodline Acknowledgement Ceremony. Roman Reigns and the Usos would come out together to a great reception from the crowd. Then out would come Jacob Fatu. Jey Uso would say Jacob is late already to his first day on the job. Jacob Fatu would come out and he would acknowledge Roman Reigns. He would say he knew the consequences if he lost. And he got in Jay's face and said, but he know he didn't lose to Jay. Seemed like they're gonna have some tension there. He would end up acknowledging him, and he would stand tall and throw his one to the sky. So I guess he's gonna just be rolling with them. We'll see how long this lasts. Let me know your thoughts on this and your thoughts on like the reformation of the Bloodline. Next we have this amazing, absolutely amazing fatal four-way between Penta, the IC champ, Carmelo Hayes, Oba Femi, and Solo Sikoa. And man, this was crazy. It was really enjoyable. I think Penta versus Carmelo Hayes is a dream match. We got some one-on-one action between them two. Oba Femi was through Tala Tonga. I don't know how you do that. Tala is so tall, and you're able to throw him. Oba Femi is just crazy. He would end up picking up the win, and he would advance in the King of the Ring tournament. He would then grab the mic and say that he will be King of the Ring, and that he's not done with Brock Lesnar, and that they will see each other down the line. Let me know your thoughts on this and your thoughts on Oba's chances of winning King of the Ring. Next we have Soul come out for basically like a championship celebration. Thought she was going to get interrupted, but it ended up just being her. She would say how she proved Becky wrong after being underestimated and how she wants to be a fighting champion. Let me know your thoughts on this and if you're ready for her reign. Next we see a backstage segment between the Usos and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns would tell Jay how he's never tasted the other title, but he's tasted this title, and he needs to go win King of the Ring. And then he would tell Jimmy Uso he needs to do this on his own. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we have the match between Rusev and Ethan Page versus Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I think the match was a pretty good heater. I enjoyed it. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee would end up picking up the win. Rey would end up pinning Ethan Page. I thought it was a great match. They worked really well with each other. And there didn't even seem to be no tension between Rusev and Ethan Page. Let me know your thoughts on this and where this goes. Next, we would see Penta talking backstage with Adam Pearce about a match against Rey Mysterio, and he would say that he's going to make it happen. Then before he could walk away, he'd get stopped by LA Knight. LA Knight once again talking stuff about the Bloodline, saying that is Adam Pearce aligned with him, and he said, who you think you talking to? He will pull him out of retirement and beat him up. Let me know your thoughts on this, and do you think he gets involved in the Bloodline story? Next, we will see another fatal four-way for the Queen of the Ring tournament between Io Sky, Lash Legend, Julia, and Roxanne Perez. I thought it was a pretty solid match. I enjoyed it. Io Sky would end up picking up the win. Julia would end up taking a pin and were like her home. I thought that she could have had a chance, but she didn't end up winning. And Io Sky would advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Let me know your thoughts on her chances of winning. Next, we have a backstage segment between Maxine and Adam Pearce. She would say how she noticed that Adam Pearce basically overlooked her for not putting her in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Adam Pearce says if there is an opening, he'll put her in. Then Otis and Tozawa would ask about her in theory. She says she knows what she's doing. She seems to have a little bit of change in her attitude. Let me know your thoughts. Next, Bay Lyra will get interviewed, and they were asked what if they make it to the Queen of the Ring finals. But Lyra would rudely bail on the interview and go talk to Soul, and hopes because she couldn't challenge for that for a long time. Soul would say it'd be an honor to face the first person to hold it. Let me know your thoughts on this, and if you think this starts some tension between Bay Lyra. Next, we'll see a backstage segment in the Judgment Day clubhouse. Roxanne was all upset after losing. Liv would come in outside but not read the room well at first. And then she would say how her and Dom are going to become the Queen and King of the Ring. Raquel didn't seem to like that, and then Liv would switch it up and say, or JD, or Raquel. Let me know your thoughts on this, and do you think they are threats to win King and Queen of the Ring? Next week, you have a main event between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. I thought it was a really solid match. I really enjoyed it. Seth Rollins ended up picking up the win with some help from Montez Ford, helping take out Austin Theory. Braun Breaker would look to spear him through the barricade, but he would end up connecting with Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins would grab the title and hold it to him, and Braun Breaker would go for a spear, and he would hit his head when trying to spear Seth. And Seth would capitalize and pick up the win. He would look at Montez Ford as if what if they form a new alliance? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed this main event. Overall, I thought Raw was a pretty good show this week. I'll give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below. We had opened up Smackdown with Gunther coming in all hot, all mad and upset about what happened at Clash in Italy, saying how his foot was under the rope and how he should not have lost that match. Then Cody would come out and say that he was right and that he wanted to fight Gunther, but then out would come Sami Zayn and interrupt him, and he would say that he wanted basically that they've been like overlooking him and whatever. He would say that what if he's the threat to Cody Rhodes' championship, and how Cody said he would teach him a lesson and he hasn't. Cody would tell Sami that he's busy, and then eventually Gunther would end up attacking Cody Rhodes, and they would all get into it. Cody Rhodes went inadvertently, accidentally taking out Sami Zayn with a suicide dive after Gunther shoved him in the way. And then he tried to help Sami, but he wouldn't shake his hand. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we see The Miz backstage on the phone with Kel Wilson, saying a whole bunch of stuff, talking about the Myles Garrett trade, the Cavs getting swept, basically like the curse from Danhausen. Then he would get shocked because he wouldn't be touching stuff in Danhausen's home. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, Gunther and Nick Aldis would be arguing. Gunther would say how he's going to have lawsuits coming his way. And once again, I think this is just going to lead to rumors of Nick Aldis coming out of retirement to fight Gunther now. Let me know your thoughts on it. Next, we have this absolute amazing match for Queen of the Ring between Raquel Rodriguez, Kiana James, JC Jane, and Bayley. It was so awesome. Really enjoyed it. Kiana felt that Julia cost her the title. The chance to win, but it actually was JC Jane. Raquel Rodriguez will end up capitalizing and picking up the win, and this match was awesome and I enjoyed it. But after the match, Kiana James would basically say that she was done with Julia, and then Julia would attack her. It seemed like Julia is actually the one turning face and Kiana is going to stay as a heel. Let me know your thoughts on this and if you're ready for their feud. Next, we will see backstage segment with Sami Zayn, and then he would once again hit on water bottles backstage, and then he would talk to Johnny Gargano, and apparently then he would get face-to-face conversation with Nick Aldis, who would tell him to stay out of the business of Cody Rhodes and Gunther. And he would say that he has someone more important to talk to, and that is Chad Gable. Let me know your thoughts on this. Oh, and Chad Gable got a big pop. If you ask me, I think he's turning face. Let me know your thoughts. Next, we have a match between Royce Keys and Tama Tonga. I thought it was a pretty solid match. Of course, Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa, the MFTs, will get involved. They would cost Royce Keys the match. After they would attack him, and out would come R-Truth, who was not medically cleared still, and it would come to help. But he would end up getting beat down, but Damian Priest would come to save him and leave Royce Keys there. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we would see a backstage segment between the Judgment Day, and they were basically celebrating Raquel, and saying if they keep winning, if Liv wins, they can face each other in the final, and she will once again say how her and Dom are going to be the cutest or whatever, Queen and King of the Ring. But Raquel would bring up, I thought you just said that you couldn't win it, but she said Liv would say that you can, but she would say let's focus on Dom. She keeps changing the subject. Let me know your thoughts on where this could lead. Next, we see a backstage segment between R-Truth and Damian Priest, talking about, once again, how Priest doesn't trust him. Truth would say, well, shouldn't we go check on him? And Priest would say that, no, you're not a doctor. He would say his brother is. Priest would say that he doesn't have a brother. And Truth would say, how dare you, doctor of thugonomics. And Priest would just walk away. That was a pretty funny segment, if you ask me. Then we will see the War Raiders come. They are apparently the new AAA tag champs, and they would basically challenge R-Truth. I guess maybe unification, title for title. R-Truth would say he has never met them a day in his life. Let me know your thoughts on it. Next, we see Rhea Ripley come out with her knee injured. I was hoping that she wasn't going to vacate, and thankfully she didn't. She was talking about how she put Jade in the past and how she got help from an unexpected friend in Charlotte Flair. I will come Charlotte Flair then. And she would say basically how she wants that title, and I would talk about her being in the Queen of the Ring. Then I would come Tiffany Stratton. I think this makes it interesting. Maybe she's going to go after Rhea too, although I don't think she's in the Queen of the Ring tournament. And of course, Jade Cargill and her group would come out, and they would talk stuff. And they would set up a tag team match, which is going to be next in between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill and Meechin. Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, we will have a match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill and Meechin. It was a pretty solid match. Jade Cargill and Meechin will end up picking up the win, pinning the United States champion. I don't see why they would have the U.S. champion get pinned. I feel like she was just in here for no reason at that point. Let me know your thoughts on it. Next, we would see a backstage segment with Fatal Influence. JC Jane was upset. Kathy Kelly would come and she would say, JC would tell her to read the room. This is not a good time. Then they would see the tag champs as they were taking photos, and JC would go talk to them, and Brie would say how JC just suffered her first major loss on Smackdown. Then they would get attacked by all the Fatal Influence, and it seemed like Laney Reed and Fallon Henley could be our new women's tag team champions. Let me know your thoughts on it. Next, we have a backstage segment between R-Truth and Royce Keys. They were basically talking. Royce Keys would say how he's probably going to get jumped a dozen times being here. Truth would say that him and Damian need to get on the same page, and they need to work together, basically. Let me know your thoughts. We would see Carmelo Hayes versus Ricky Saints. I thought it was a pretty solid match. Ricky Saints would end up picking up the win, rolling up Carmelo Hayes. Next, we would see Trick Williams being interviewed by Kathy Kelly. He would say how he likes seeing Ricky and Carmelo battle it out, so keep going. Then Braun Breaker would come and they would stare each other down. I think this could be a match in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Next, we would see Chelsea Green look for Tiffany Stratton backstage to help her. Tiffany would say that she has this on her own. And then we would see Lash Legend versus Chelsea Green, with Lash Legend picking up the win. It's a pretty solid match, if you ask me. There was no Tiffany getting involved. Let me know your thoughts down below. Next, we have Royce Keys talking with Solo Sikoa backstage. Solo would basically say that you need to join him, or there will be a problem. Let me know where you think this one will go. Next, we will see Ray Phoenix talking with Fraxium, and then here will come Chad Gable, I guess who's going to be the new member of Smackdown. He would basically apologize to Ray Phoenix for the OG Americano stuff, and Ray Phoenix would remind him that he's not the only one that he had hurt. Let me know your thoughts down below. Next, we will see Cody Rhodes talking with Nick Aldis. He wanted to fight Gunther tonight, but Gunther left the building, and he says he will fight Cody, but he has special conditions, and they don't know what it is. He will announce it next week, apparently. Let me know your thoughts down below. Next, we will see the main event between Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio. All four of them are champions, by the way. That's three people who are the future of this business, and Dom, Trick, and Braun Breaker. This match was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. Jaden McDonough would get involved. Liv Morgan would get involved. And Dom would end up picking up the win. I thought for sure that it was going to be Braun Breaker. Overall, I enjoyed this match. Let me know your thoughts down below. Overall, I thought this SmackDown was pretty good for its episode of SmackDown. I give it like a 7 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below. Till next time, like, comment, and subscribe.